My name is Sheila Horton, and this is my ITERS art observation. I was very fortunate to be able to do my observation in person, and I was able to do my observation at one of the prep academies at Community Action Council. The philosophy of the Community Action Council is, as an organization that believes that people with low income must be active participants in the ultimate solutions to poverty, the Council is committed to developing civic capital and promoting involvement by identifying and capitalizing on the assets, leadership, and talents present within the community. We collaborate closely with other local organizations and businesses in order to share resources. We use state-of-the-art technology to enhance the quality and efficiency of our services and service delivery, holding ourselves accountable for measurable results. The prep academies have Early Head Start and Head Start programs. Early Head Start is from birth to 2, and Head Start is for ages 3 to 5. The philosophy of the early childhood education programs are: Community Action Council offers several high-quality early childhood education programming for children ages birth through 5 and their families, including pregnant women, serving hundreds of children throughout Central Kentucky every year. All of these programs address the developmental, social, emotional, health, and family needs of the children from low-income backgrounds to give them the strongest possible foundation for success later in life. The classroom that I observed was an Early Head Start classroom. In the classroom, there were 3 teachers that are assigned to that room. They have a lead teacher, an assistant teacher, and a floater. The lead teacher has been employed at the center for 2 years, and she has her CDA. The assistant teacher has been employed for 7 months, but must complete her CDA within 2 years of employment. The floater has been employed for 6 years and has her CDA. The classroom capacity is 8. There were 8 children assigned to the classroom. There are 6 toddlers and 2 infants, and on the day that I did my observation, all 8 children were in attendance. This is my classroom observation. For space and furnishings, the score was 4.60, the subscale was 23, and the number of items scored was 5. They scored fairly low on indoor space. They scored a 3 because there was no natural light and there were no windows in the room. I know that can't be helped, but they still received a score of 3 for that area. For personal care routines, they received a score of 6.83. The subscale score was 41, and the number of items scored was 6. One of the things that I did notice in the classroom was about the soft furnishings, some of the soft toys. They had to be taken out of the classroom due to COVID-19 because of the emergency regulations. They chose to take all of those toys out of the classroom, but there were enough of the vinyl toys to make up for that. For listening and talking, the score was 6. They had a sub-score of 18, and the number of items scored was 3. What I did notice is that they were very interactive with the children. They were very engaging throughout the day. So that is why they received a score of a 6. For activities, they received a score of 4.62. The subscale was 37, and the number of items scored was 8. Under activities for sand and water play, it is marked NA, and the reason why is because sand and water play was removed due to the COVID-19 emergency regulations. Prior to COVID, they did have sand and water play in the classroom. One area that I felt needed improvement was nature and science. They received a 3 in that area. I feel like even if they just added a few plants, maybe a few more books on science and nature, that would bring up their score in that area. For interaction, they received a score of 6.75 with the subscale score of 27, and the number of items scored was 4. One of the things I noticed, actually 2 of the things that I noticed during my observation, was under peer interaction. The teachers, every moment that they found to give praise to the children, they would do that. They also, as far as discipline, they do not use timeout in the classroom. They use redirection, and that seemed to be very effective with the toddlers in that classroom. For program structure, they received a score of 6 with a subscale score of 18, and the number of items scored was 3. For the provisions for children with disabilities, since there were not any in the classroom, I scored that as an NA. Also, wanted to point out their schedule. This is just kind of a schedule of what theirs looked like. I couldn't take a picture of the actual schedule, but what I did like about their schedule is that they use pictures. So even though the children couldn't read, they could identify with the picture to know what was coming next in their day. For parents and staff, they received a score of 5.71. The subscale score was 40, and the number of items scored was 7. One of the things that I took note of in this category was the opportunities for professional growth. Community Action Council, they have built-in professional development days. So there's so many days a year that they actually close down the centers and use it as a professional development day for all the staff. And so that way they always make sure that all the staff get in their training hours each year. The total and average score. The total score was 5.66 with the subscale score of 204, and the number of items scored was 36. One of the things that I failed to mention under personal care and routines, that was their highest score, was 6.83. What I did notice is that they were very intentional about making sure that the kids always washed their hands. The staff were constantly washing their hands. They were sanitizing throughout the day while the kids were napping. They would sanitize the toys that they had played with so that they were ready for the afternoon. One of the things that I was really impressed with was that under the personal care routines was with the greeting and departing. Even though they've had to make some changes due to the pandemic, they still made sure that every child was greeted as they came into the classroom. And even though the parents are not allowed in the classroom, in the mornings when they come in, each parent gets their temperature taken along with the child. And so that is the point of greeting for the parents. So they are very intentional about making sure that they greet each parent. If there's anything that the parent has concerns about, they have telephones in the classrooms, so the parents are able to call to check on their child. And most of them, usually they know what the routine is, so most of them will call when it's during quieter times of the day. If it's something that a parent needs to speak to the teacher, then there's always 3 people in the classroom, so the teacher is able to step out and talk to the parent in the hallway if that's necessary. Overall, I felt like it was a very good observation. I was really impressed with the way that they had to modify some of their daily routines because of the pandemic. But again, like I said, overall, I think it was a really good observation. Again, their total score was 5.66. Thank you.